I am Tahvonen from Hamk University of Applied Sciences, and together with my colleague Aysto, we've been organizing a module or teaching period which we would like to present to you as our approach to scalable landscapes. First of all, the module is part of our bachelor degree program, and we are organizing our education in a way that we have only 15 ECTS modules. So the students are participating in 2 different modules per semester. And this scalable processes in built environment module is meant for first-year students, and it will be the second one they are studying. So it will be just before the Christmas. And the work and the education is based on group work, and the assignment is semi-open. So it means that we are not defining very in details what is needed to do. So they have the freedom to choose how they are working. And what's the core of the whole scalable processes in our thinking? So the main components of the urban green are defined in this module as a water, vegetation, and soil. So because the students are really in the beginning of the study, so we are kind of looking at those different components and trying to help them to see how they are connected together. So the soil is something which is always including water, that is providing the possibilities for vegetation growth. But in urban context, so there is the gray component, which is limiting and modifying this basic system in almost in every sites and places. So soil sealing, impervious surfaces, so they are kind of providing water for this system, and they are also preventing infiltration of the water. So the connections within the system, but also around it is something that we are trying to stress here. So what is affecting soil sealing? Foundations of different kind of constructions, buildings, and also walls and pergolas, for examples. And the changes, especially here in Finland, the earthwork and kind of preventing the frost damages. So it's really changing the environment around the urban green. In this module, we are first seeing and teaching the main components here, soil, water, vegetation, and the kind of technical component, so that the students understand the main components. But they are not only working at one scale, but they are providing kind of a report where they are showing how the different scales are understanding and dealing with, for example, with the soil or the water. So the names of the components is changing when the scale is changing. So that's something that we are trying to stress for them. And when the main components are kind of understood, so then alongside it, students are invited to see our case package of certain site where they are actually seeing how the designs and documents are looking and how to find different information from those documents. And then they are also gathering the information about the organization, authorities, and professions and specialists who are working at different scales. So this is kind of framing the framework where they are going to study the rest of their studies. This slide shows one of the outcomes as an example. So here the challenge is to see how the impervious surfaces and the soil volume available for vegetation. So how are those defined at different scales? So they are identifying stakeholders and what kind of solutions are provided at different scales. And based on the students' assignment, so I would say that this is kind of interesting in my understanding, so that the neighborhood and block scale is something which is kind of run by authorities and specialists. And then plot and detail scale, so that's something where the plot owners and commercial actors are actually making the decisions that are defining the impervious surfaces and therefore the soil volume for vegetation.